Relevance is so key, and especially right now, you have to be relevant. You have to be on top of your game. You have to read more than anybody else. You have to know more than anybody else about your topic. You have to say, an article came out yesterday. I read in the news this morning. I saw that this is going on, and you have to be relevant because right now this is a digital game. It is a rush to the virtual gold. It's a virtual gold rush right now is what it is. It's a virtual gold rush. And if you don't step up and move quickly, right, and are relevant and are reading more and studying more and watching more and consuming more, you will always lose to your competitor because they will seem more relevant than you. Self-discipline. Do you do what you need to do no matter what? Do you do what you need to do no matter how you feel? Do you do what you need to do no matter what else is going on in the world, right? Are you consistent? Are you absolute? Are you resolved? And do you not get distracted easily, right? And when you do get distracted, you can get yourself back on track. That is self-discipline. Confrontation. Are you able to confront with ease? My business partner and wife, Melanie, we say we'll have confrontation for breakfast. We actually, James will tell you, we made a joke yesterday. We were in a big team meeting and I said, okay, let's bring this up again.
And I said, was that the 9:30 argument or the 3:30 argument?
I said, because Melanie and I had a knockdown blowout about this morning, and Melanie, and then she goes, oh, no, that wasn't a knockdown blowout. I think that was just a disagreement. But confrontation comes from, are you able to confront yourself? Are you able to confront a client or a customer? Are you able to confront your vendors? Are you able to confront your demons? Do you have that confrontation in place? Skill set, we don't have to talk about that much. You got to know what the hell you're doing, right? Can you do the work that you're claiming that you could do? And can you do the work that you're selling? And we always need to be getting better at it, whether we're a business strategist or we're a chef, right? Are we constantly growing our skill set and our talent? This is a biggie, the next one, conditioning. So this is one of my favorite stories in the world to tell, but John Wooden, the famous basketball coach, he coached some of the most successful players to ever play. And what's really interesting about it is this was a time where you could go straight to the NBA and people wouldn't. They would go spend a year being coached by John Wooden because they wanted to say they were coached by him. And it didn't matter who you were or what your skill set was, everybody did the same thing their first week of basketball practice. Everybody did the exact same thing. And that is, for a week, you learned to put your socks on and your shoes on, and you learned how to tie your laces for a week. Because he said the key and the secret to great basketball or great anything is you have a conditioning. You know the fundamentals. You know the foundations, right? And you make sure that you start at the very basics and that you nail those basics. I love the concept of a blister will take down a giant. I love that concept, right? You put your shoes on wrong and you get a blister, it will take down a giant. And marathon runners, very famous marathon runners, talk about this. They talk about that you can be the most conditioned, you can be the best, you can practice the most, and you can mess up on something as simple as like your shoes and not working on those in the very basics. And you can have a shoe problem in a race, get a blister, and you literally cannot finish. So conditioning in your business. The next is confidence. We got to be certain. There has to be a level of certainty. There has to be a level of confidence. There has to be a level of security. People only want to work with people who are more certain than they are, right? You came to me because you were more certain that I could help you in your business, that you could help yourself, right? So you have to have that confidence and that certainty. And then the last is being, right? And that's pretty simple. It's how do you show up in the world? How did you show up this morning? Did you show up late? Did you show up disheveled? Did you show up rushing? Did you show up overwhelmed, right? How are you showing up at the grocery store versus how are you showing up in your life versus how are you showing up with a client versus how are you showing up with your spouse, right? How are you being in the world? Because that very much relates to competitive greatness.